Yo, 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 what's good, Africa? It's your girl Fei Fei coming at you live with a story that has the whole continent talking. We're diving deep into Kenyan politics, fam. Raila Odinga, the man, the myth, the enigma, just took an L in the race for the African Union chairmanship. And it's got everyone wondering, how did Baba miss the mark this time? We're talking about a political heavyweight, a man who's been in the game longer than some of you have been alive. But even the most seasoned veterans can stumble, and today we're breaking down exactly why Raila's bid for the AUC fell flat. Was it the political climate, his campaign strategy, or something else entirely? Buckle up, folks, because we're about to unpack all the drama, the intrigue, and the political maneuvering that went down in this high-stakes election. Get ready to sip some tea and spill some tea, because things are about to get juicy. So let's set the stage, shall we? Picture this. The African Union, a room full of presidents, prime ministers, all these big dogs of African politics. And in the middle of it all is Raila, ready to throw his hat in the ring for the chairmanship. But here's the thing about African politics, fam, it's not for the faint of heart, it's a jungle out there. And Raila was facing off against some serious contenders. We're talking seasoned diplomats, political masterminds, people who could charm the stripes off a zebra. I mean, you've got to be a special kind of smooth to navigate those waters, right? This wasn't some local council election where you can win by promising to fix the potholes. This was the big leagues, and the competition was fierce. Think of it like a political version of the Lion King, except instead of Mufasa and Scar, you've got presidents vying for the throne. And let me tell you, when these guys roar, the whole continent listens. Now let's talk strategy. You know how in every sports movie there's that underdog team that comes out of nowhere and wins it all? Well, Raila was trying to pull off that same underdog magic in this election. He was banking on his reputation as a Pan-Africanist, a champion of democracy, a man of the people. But here's the thing about campaigns, you can't just coast on your reputation, fam. You gotta give the people something to believe in. So what was Raila's big idea? What was the message that was going to rally the African Union behind him? Look, I'm not saying his campaign was bad, but it wasn't exactly setting the world on fire either. It felt a little safe, a little predictable. And in a political landscape as dynamic as Africa's, you've got to come with the fire, you know? It's like trying to win a rap battle with a lullaby. Sure, it's a nice lullaby, but it ain't gonna get the crowd hyped. Now you might be thinking, Fei, Raila is a legend in Kenya. Surely he had the home field advantage. And you wouldn't be wrong, fam. Back home, Raila is practically royalty. But here's the kicker. This wasn't about winning over the hearts and minds of Kenyans. This was about winning over the leaders of 54 other countries, each with their own agendas and priorities. It's like trying to cook a single meal that will please everyone at a family reunion. You've got your picky eaters, your vegans, your gluten-free cousins. It's a logistical nightmare. And in this case, Raila was trying to cook up a political strategy that would appeal to a continent as diverse and complex as Africa. So, while having Kenya in his corner was definitely a plus, it wasn't the guaranteed win you might think. It's like having the best starting lineup in basketball, but your point guard can't dribble. You might have home court advantage, but you still gotta bring your A game. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the scandals in the campaign. Because let's be real, fam, every good political drama needs a little bit of scandal to spice things up. And Raila's campaign was no exception. Now, I'm not here to rehash the past or point fingers, but there were definitely a few skeletons rattling around in the closet. Remember that time when... Yeah, that one. And then there was that whole thing with... Oh, and let's not forget about... See, I told you, juicy, right? Now, whether these controversies were legitimate concerns or just political mudslinging is a debate for another day. But one thing's for sure, they definitely didn't do Raila any favors. It's like trying to win a baking competition with a cake that's already half-eaten. You might argue that it tastes better that way, but good luck convincing the judges. Last but not least, we gotta talk about the international players in this whole shebang. Because believe it or not, African politics aren't just about Africa anymore. You've got global superpowers, international organizations, all these outside forces trying to exert their influence. It's like a geopolitical game of chess, and Africa is the board. Now, I'm not saying that Raila's loss was all because of some grand conspiracy orchestrated by shadowy figures in smoke-filled rooms, but I'm not saying it wasn't either. What I am saying is that international relations play a huge role in African politics. And in this particular election, it seems like the winds of change weren't blowing in Raila's favor. It's like trying to swim upstream against a current of international pressure. You might be a strong swimmer, but eventually, that current is going to wear you down. So, there you have it, fam. We've unpacked the political landscape, the campaign strategy, the regional support, the controversies, and the international influence that all factored into Raila Odinga's AUC loss. It's a complex web of factors, and as you can see, there's no single answer to the question of why he lost. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the end of Raila Odinga. This is a man who's built a career out of defying expectations, out of rising above challenges. So, while this loss may sting a little, you can bet your bottom dollar that Baba will be back. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going.